Hello and welcome to Your Best Health is Hiding in Your Calendar. I can't tell you how exciting I found this because what's the one thing, no matter where you're from, no matter who you are, no matter what your background, future, in between is, the one thing that we have in common is time and how we use time. So I'm going to start my presentation. I'm going to share my screen with you. And I have it share. I'm going to show you a little video. You might have seen this. Tell me if this is you.
Have you ever skipped the beach because you hated the idea of putting on a bathing suit or stood on the sidelines at a party because you're too self conscious to dance? It's like your weight isn't just holding you back, it's keeping you from living your life. Hi, I'm Coach Mo, and I know exactly how that feels, feeling stuck, frustrated, and like nothing is ever going to change. I went from being 65 pounds overweight and feeling trapped in my body to not only losing that weight, but keeping it off for over 15 years simply by loving myself and creating a healthy, sustainable life that I truly enjoy. It's not because I'm perfect or have endless willpower. I'm just like you. I have faced those doubts, that frustration, and that fear of failure. I went from feeling stuck and less than to feeling worthy and confident and empowered by living a healthier lifestyle. And I know you can too. Learn how to make simple, healthy changes that will fit into your busy life. Discover how to lose weight without feeling deprived or overwhelmed. Finally, break free from dieting and create results that last. Picture this. You're finally saying yes. Yes to the beach, yes to the dance floor, and yes to you. Spaces are filling fast, so click the link below and save your spot now. This could be the moment that changes everything. Your best health is closer than you think.
My coach is all, you need a new opening. I was like, but that was blood, sweat, and tears, y'all.
Have you ever
But is and I was saying, so your best health is hiding in your calendar. Your transformation into the woman who finally has time for herself starts here. Who here puts other people's needs and health in front of their own? Their children, their work, their spouses. Anyone? Anyone? Yes. Yes. We tend to prioritize other people because we don't want to be selfish, but it's not selfish, it's selfless. And what we're going to talk about today. Click. So from chaos to clarity, I went from, like I said, in my little reel, you saw my reel, that's a little bit about me. And I went from 65 pounds overweight, actually 65 plus, because I stopped telling them how much I weigh, asking them how much I weighed when I went, went for my weigh-ins when I was pregnant. So it was over 65. And so I went from, that was me in 2008, and that was me in 2019. And at almost 55, I'm not much different now. But what I realized early on, because I had three kids going in three different directions, I had a spouse who always wanted a piece of me. Everyone wanted a piece of me, and I was always trying to count calories and go to the fitness classes and do all the things. And I what I realized was I didn't need another exercise format. I didn't need another diet, that's for sure. What I needed was time. I needed time for myself to think, to focus inward, to find that time in the day to focus on my health, my mental, physical, spiritual, and emotional health. So I dropped those 65 plus pounds by carving out time for me in my calendar. This is your most important and beneficial asset you will ever have is your time. And we're going to talk about non-negotiables because that is the biggest pillar in your calendar. I had started getting up early every morning. My then husband gave me a video game for the Wii, and it was EA Games Personal Trainer for Wii. And I was like, what's this? He said, it's just because you said you want to get into shape. And so I reluctantly took it. And I started working out a few weeks later doing this. And I realized I really liked it, but I couldn't do it when the kids were around. Everyone wanted some of them. So I started getting up at 5 in the morning, which was way earlier than I was. to do these workouts 3 mornings a week and then again on Saturday. So this was the thing. I had to find time. I had to find time. And more so, I had to make time. I had to make time and find it in my calendar. So that's exactly what I did. And that led to a consistent lifestyle of exercising, of feeling really good. Like, when people say, you feel good, I'm like, no, I feel really good. And it was shocking to me how bad I felt before when I started to work out. And then I started to pay attention what was going into my body. I used to be the coupon queen, y'all. Those foods that you get coupons for at the grocery store generally are not very good for you. But I started to feel really good and I lost the weight. And it was all about time management. And it took me forever to make this connection. It's like, I know what I need to teach. I need to teach how your best health, your weight loss is hiding in your calendar. So, who's with me on this journey? Drop a yes in the chat if you've ever felt stuck despite your best efforts. No matter what you try, you've tried I just recently had a lady tell me, it's like, oh, I can lose 20 pounds, no problem. And then it comes right back. And then I lose it, and then it comes back. So it's not a matter of losing the weight, it's keeping it off. So who has felt, put me yes in the chat if you've ever felt stuck despite your efforts. So today's roadmap, we're going on a trip. How to use your calendar to stop the Monday reset. How many of us have ever said, ugh, I'm 2 margaritas and a pizza in, I'll start over on Monday? That's me. I don't feel like, has anyone started over on Monday? Yes. Starting over on Monday. It's a trap. We don't want to start over on Monday. We want to be, you have to, what I want you to understand is your ability to start now, 5 minutes from now. You don't have to wait. It's all or nothing thinking. You don't have to wait till tomorrow. Why put off to tomorrow what you can do today? How to plan and build accountability into your day. So we're going to look at how we're going to plug those pillars I've mentioned before into your calendar and how to anchor simple daily actions that add up to weight loss. And even if you don't have weight to lose, a significant amount of weight to lose. I had a lady recently come to me. She's not even really looking to lose weight. She wants to build muscle and lose body fat. So these are all apply. This all applies to a healthy lifestyle. You build a healthy lifestyle, loving yourself, that will lead to weight loss. It is a natural byproduct, which is amazing because that makes it less about the diet and the exercise and all those things. I mean, that's of course a huge part of it, but it's really about treating yourself like a most precious loved one. And then when we put these practices into place, you are honoring yourself, which is so amazing. And to see that is awesome. So I don't understand what's happening. So I'll show you proof that this works with real client wins in each area. This is Mo's assurance. If you apply what I teach you today, you will get results. I mean, that's kind of awesome, right? I mean, I'm going to teach you 3 simple areas, 3 simple shifts that you can start today that you will see results from. Is that cool? Put amen in the chat if you think that is cool, because I think that's pretty cool. Because we are instant gratification people. We're going to talk about scrolling. We're instant gratification people. We want the marshmallow now. If anyone's aware of the marshmallow experiment, when those kids were asked they could have one now or two later. We want to become the two later people I'm going to show you how you can have wins every single day just by how you manage your calendar. So let's get into the 3 big shifts that will change how you see your time and your health. How you see your time and your health. Time and health are often an oversight. They're an afterthought. They're like, oh, I'll make time for that later. Ugh, I'll start exercising after Christmas. I'll wait until January. I'll wait until 2 months before the cruise. I'll wait. Oh my God, 6 months to my daughter's wedding. I can do. I'll wait till 3 months. I've heard all of these things. So we want to shift how we see our time and our health and the precious commodity that it is. Because when you shift your mindset, it's the first shift, mindset and time awareness. When you shift your mindset from chaos to clarity, everything gets simpler. Okay, duh, right? I mean, let's think of yourself when you're frantic. You can't find your keys, you're late for a job interview, you're frantic. You can't you missed you woke up, you overslept, you missed your alarm, you're absolutely frantic. This is not peace. Here's the beauty of having things in your calendar, though. If you oversleep, you already know. When you have these practices in place, you already know what you need to do. So there's so much less chaos and so much more calm and clarity. So that is amazing. Like I said, if you apply what I teach you today, you're going to feel it in your body, this shift, which is so awesome. So, and life gets simpler. I don't know about you, but I did not sign up for a complicated life. I've had a few goes, two kids out of wedlock, divorce. These things happen, and a myriad of other things. But life's not simple, but we can make it simpler and we can enjoy. And when we're calm, we get to enjoy life, which is so awesome. So here I tell you a tale of two calendars. Same path. Calendars, a calendar. You can have one calendar that's streamlining your energy and one calendar that is just a hot mess. I mean, we're gonna have a look at that. So here's an example of my friend said, I don't have a calendar. I just write everything on a sticky note. That sounds my brain hurts actually. Now, don't get me wrong. I am the sticky note queen. I've got sticky notes everywhere, but it's not my calendar. And I have a place where sticky notes go. But we want a little order and semblance. So calendar number one is chaos. You write everything down, but you can't find the list. Like so you have a calendar and you find it in your pocketbook 6 months later. You post-it notes have type have taken over like a zombie apocalypse. Like it's like, I'm just gonna write a post-it note. And then it just goes, floats off, just goes away into the abyss until you find it when you're cleaning under the desk. No idea what's coming down the pipe today, let alone this week. I have no idea. I asked someone recently about meal planning. They're like, oh, I don't know. I just, like, I don't know. Maybe I just have too much going on in my life. I gotta know. I gotta know. I mean, I like surprises, like a surprise party, but what I'm having for dinner at 6 o'clock in the evening is not a surprise that I like. And you have no clear path. So calendar, this is not, this is no direction. Imagine going on a trip of a lifetime, but you didn't plan a direction. So you want to go to Cairo and you end up in Lubbock, Texas. No shade on Lubbock. We might have some Lubbock people in the audience, but we want to have direction. Calendar number two. This is actually my calendar. Morning and evening routines are carved out. I know what I'm doing in the morning. Every morning, same thing. I know what I'm doing in the evening. My meals are planned out. I plan them on Sunday. Do I prep? No. When people show those boxes of ground turkey, brown rice, and broccoli, I'm just like, I, I feel like it's a prison sentence. It just doesn't look good to me. But I do plan. So I do plan my meals every day and then every week. And then I throw them in the calendar. No surprises. I know what we're having. And it is so great when 4:30 rolls around the afternoon and I am not playing a guessing game of what we're eating. Exercise is blocked in. I know exactly when I'm working out. Didn't work out last night, so I'm going to work out Wednesday night instead. So you want to have wiggle room in your calendar. Notice I've got things blocked off, but there's a lot of white space in there. There's a lot you want white space because things come up. You want to be flexible. If there's something you've been meaning to do and you're like, ooh, I can write that letter. Oh, I can go to the post office. Those sorts of things so you can get more things done. Or just relax, read for a while, watch one of your stories. I've been addicted to the Love Boat lately. It's taking me back, y'all. This calendar is real and it shows what matters. So when you look at your calendar, it is a reflection of what you're prioritizing, what matters to you. I don't know if you've heard this recently. You're kind of a big deal. You are a big deal, not just to your family, not just to your friends, not just your community, just being you. You are a big deal. I know this to be true. I don't lie. I know this to be true. So my mission in life is to teach women, just like you, busy women, to create this space in the calendar for you. So you can have the best experience of your life and you can have that calm and clarity and a smattering of chaos. You know, like I said, I don't like to be in the tea, but I like to be tea adjacent. So, so rely on schedule, not on motivation. When you have, I did a in my master cl in my group coaching, I did a class last week about energy flows. So how to map out your day based on when you have the best energy. Mine is from 9 to noon, is where I'm thinking, I'm doing all my brainy things. You know, noon to 2, I'm having lunch. I might be getting a little energy dip around there. And it's something at late afternoon. So I have actually shifted everything I do based on my energy cues. So this is, you don't want to rely on motivation because, yeah, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I am not motivated to do anything. I am just not. So when having things scheduled out, just having those non-negotiables in place, those non-negotiables are like an appointment you cannot miss. That is a non-negotiable. No, I'm not going. I have to go. It's not because someone's going to say, oh, you weren't there. No, it's because you've made a deal with yourself. You're going. Monday night, last night, I was I redid this whole presentation, and of course I like to overthink everything. And so I was busy, busy, busy doing this because I wanted to make a great presentation for y'all, and so I couldn't go to my workout. But I already knew how I was going to make that up. So again, that flexibility, but having those pillars in place is going to be a game changer for you. A game changer. You are worth the time. You are worth the energy to put this in place. So, how your calendar impacts your weight, your energy, how you go about in life. I'm going to show you right now. And you're on your way to Wonderland and you've dropped, this is my client, Karen, several clothing sizes.
Yes, I have. I have gone from a pant size of a 24 down to yesterday, I got myself into an 18. In my shirts, I went from almost a 4X down to a large.
That's amazing.
I was always told, I'm going to become a diabetic because it's family history. Well, I became a diabetic, but with the process, became a non-diabetic almost a year ago now. But it does go down into your mindset.
So that's Karen. She came to me a full-blown diabetic. Then she was pre-diabetic. And now she's no longer diabetic. She's in full remission, which blows my mind. And because she is using these principles, she's lost, I think, over 40 or 50 pounds now. She is vibrant. She's like a new person. So applying these things, and she just got a handle on her calendar. That was it. And she plugged in her exercise. That she's known as the gym rat now.
And
I think
you're
that's
on
a
your
girl.
way to
Oops, I don't know what that said. So I love that she's a gym rat. They know when she's coming, and she's down at the gym 3 times a week. It's just amazing. And so plugging these things into your calendar actually works. So here's shift number 2, planning and accountability. This isn't about perfection, y'all. It's about making health non-negotiable in a way that fits your life. We have the boot camp I go to. There was a dozen of us there this morning at 5 a.m. And tonight there'll be, or tomorrow night, there'll be another dozen or more in the evening class. So we have these different times so you can plug it into your calendar. Who here is exercising regularly? Raise your hand if you're exercising regularly. Do you have a regular exercise regimen? Anyone? Anyone? Bueller? Awesome. Love it. Patricia, I know you do. Awesome. Kim, that's quite a face. I love that face. Well, okay, that's another thing. As we get older, I love when my doctor says that. We need to do resistance training for there's so many things. I wasn't going to talk about this, but for if you're menopausal, it helps with hormone regulation. It helps with your metabolism. It helps with the visceral fat around your organs. It helps with bone density. There's so many reasons why you should be. This is a total aside. The reasons should be resistance training in some form. That's not what I was supposed to talk about here, but I just want to squeeze that in because something to think about for sure. But it's about making health and fitting it into your life. So this is what your pillar calendar could look like. So notice in this calendar, there is space for a workout, 3 or 4 times a week. Start with two if you're just starting out. Breakfast being consistent, snack. My snack shifts around according to the day. Some days I have meetings, up at I like 9:45, but if I have a meeting till 10, that's going to be at 10. So you want to be able to shift things around, but having them put in your calendar puts them in your brain, writing them down. This is why I have my calendar where I write everything, because when you write things down, makes it more tangible. So having this in your calendar, which seems goofy a little bit, if I was like, I gotta write down my meals. Yeah, because it becomes a reality. And you're going to learn that when you start writing things down, it's almost like it's an agreement. You're making an agreement with yourself. I'm going to eat breakfast at this time, have a snack, lunch, snack, dinner. And notice how it's spaced out through the day, and you want to hit protein and you want to get that workout in at a time that works for you. Might be 2 in the afternoon. I don't know, whatever fits your schedule. So, and then a wind down, like having that wind down at the end of the day. That's wind down, ladies, not wind down, because that will disrupt your sleep cycles. But so understand that having these little pillars in your life, look at all that white space. There's all that white space. And you having these pillars in your calendar for whatever works for you is going to change your life for the better. I guarantee that. And so this is a blank calendar. This is just for you. My calendar needs to start way earlier than that because my worst workout's at 5. But it's about what works for you. So having a calendar like this and putting in those non-negotiables is huge. So example, making time versus finding time. If dinner is always chaos, block 30 minutes earlier for prep. How, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. That was me every day at 4:30 before I started planning my meals. Oh, what are we gonna have for dinner? It was just, I mean, the pain is real. So now it's on my calendar. You shut down at 5. I planned out my meals on Sunday. I shut down at 5. I have a little grace period between 5 and 5:30. I start prep at 5:30. We have dinner on the table by 6:30, sometimes at 7. So I have those things in place. And then, oh my God, the peace, y'all, the peace, because I'm making time. So I'm making sure that I have time. So less chaos. So staying accountable, so having time and finding time comes from being accountable to yourself. That is a huge part of health and wellness. As another aside, who's saving the retirement funds for doctors and nurses? I'm not. No way, man. I'm saving it for cruises, for tours, for travel, for my grandchildren to eventually be here. I only have grandcats and dogs right now. But these are the things we're saving for. So having accountability for what you're doing is in your calendar. Your calendar will hold you accountable. So we don't always have accountability. There's accountability in your calendar, but then you actually have to do it. So this is my client, Jennifer. This is what she has to say about accountability.
I think the number one thing that ended up me finally saying yes was I realized I needed accountability. I'm not able to do this on my own. I didn't know a lot of this stuff, but I'm not holding myself accountable. I'm not able to do that. So I agree with the way you see food. It's not a diet, but what really made me pull the trigger was I need some accountability. I even told myself in the beginning, there's never a good time and you need to put your health first. And this is a great coach to help you do that and accomplish your goals. So
Thank you.
you're a great coach.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I was not sick. I chose to shave my head because I was really lazy for about a year and a half. Just in case anyone's wondering. Every time I looked at that, I was like, dang. But I did. But she came to us needing accountability. And like she said, she knew what to eat, she knew what to do, but she needed the accountability. And putting it in her calendar has become a huge piece of her everyday life. And she travels a lot. So I love that she can focus on this. She can plug this in no matter where she is. She's got family in Colorado. They go to Alaska. They do a lot of traveling. So the fact that she can maintain her weight loss journey on this just by putting it in her calendar is huge. And so you can change your life. Shift number 3, small daily actions. It's all about the small shifts, y'all. It's not about the big, grandiose transformations of life. It's about the tiny little things we do every day. You can change your life in 10 minutes. 10 minutes a day. Attaching a habit to something you already do is power. It's called habit stacking. On my shelf back here, I have Atomic Habits by James Clear. I highly, highly recommend it. Attaching something you already do, a habit you want to develop to something you already do makes it so much easier. So when you stack micro habits, you see results without feeling like your whole life revolves around dieting. Okay, so putting on your shoes when you get up in the morning, getting up, and so you're ready to go. Having a glass of water, I'm going to talk about this, a glass of water before your coffee, finding time to stress relief, having a bedtime and awake time. Awake time. I wake up the same time pretty much every day within a 30-minute window, except for on the weekends. I sleep an extra sleep cycle on the weekend. But it's it makes being healthy so much easier. It's kind of like brushing your teeth, and I'll write messages on my mirror, things I want to remember, or I will clean off this counter while I'm brushing my teeth. This is called habit stacking. So add a glass of water before you have your coffee. A 10-minute walk right after lunch before your butt hits the seat again. Get up, move around. It could be around your house, around your office building, around your neighborhood. Just getting up and moving. Do some stairs. These just small things. Small things make huge difference. Chopping vegetables when you get home from the store. So you go to the grocery store. So you got an hour for grocery shopping or whatever it is, and then you bank another 30 minutes for shopping. That cucumber or broccoli or cauliflower or whatever's coming in the house, you wash it. And if it's vegetables, you prep the vegetables, then you're ready for snacks. You can have it with hummus. It's ready to roast. And it's so easy. So you add that to something you're already doing. It's a game changer. So imagine results without dieting your life away. This is not about a diet, y'all. And it's funny because when I talk about food and things we eat and I say diet, I'm like, I don't mean a diet. I have been on the diet train. Raise your hands if you've ever been on a diet. Anyone? Anyone been on a diet? Yes? Yes? Well, this is where the diet train stops. This is where the diet train stops. I want to have that copyrighted because a lot of us get off and on, off and on, off and on. We lose 20 pounds, gain 20 pounds, lose 20 pounds, gain 20 pounds. So this is where you don't have to get on that diet train anymore. The magic isn't about doing everything perfectly. It's in picking one tiny thing, and repeating it until it's automatic. So one thing. So of those things I mentioned, who here can see that they could do one thing? One of those things, add one of those things to the daily schedule. Yeah. So adding a glass of water, going for a walk, getting up. I set my alarm every 25. I live and die by my alarm. Every 25 minutes, I get up and walk around. Oh, sugar. I just knocked her out. Oopsie daisies. Admit. There we go. I am wise. Now I've lost my point of view.
I've tried so many.
Oh, sorry. So yeah, so it isn't about doing anything. So choosing one thing. I want everyone to commit to doing one thing. Put in the chat, what's one thing you could start doing? That'd be so easy. The water before coffee for me is the easiest thing. I drink a glass of water before I drink 24 ounces before water, but I'm crazy. But drinking a glass of water before your coffee would be huge, or whatever your beverage, morning beverage is. Having that water. You're dehydrated all night, so having that water. So write down or put it in the chat one thing that you're willing to do today, starting today, that you could do? Habit stack. So when life gets busy, and it always does, your calendar keeps you consistent. So here's proof is in the pudding.
I've tried so many diets and so many workouts, but I'd never approached things from like a time management perspective. Mo transformed the whole system because she introduced in the idea of like simplifying my to-do list, focusing on 3 things each day. Anything else is bonus. So I could let go of the guilt that I had constantly of never getting my list done.
So how has that affected your health? How has that changed your health, like with your workouts, your eating, and nutrition?
I do definitely feel like I have way more energy. In the past, I would get the Sunday blues instead of being excited about what's going on. But now I have way more energy to be able to hop up right out of bed when my alarm goes off. I don't hit the snooze button ever.
Last thing, how do you feel as Kara? Do you feel like you found yourself? How do you feel?
I'm way more comfortable in like listening to my intuition. That was another thing. I just feel way happier. I wish I
Yeah.
had better words.
Happier is pretty darn good. And that was just by Kara getting a hold of her calendar, getting a hold of her time. I don't know. I'm starting to sound like a broken record. I know.
I've tried so many.
But this is just it. So what happens next? Who here who's gotten something out of this right now? If you are here today, there's definitely something that you could apply to your life that is going to increase the quality of your life. So a lot of you here are like, that was awesome. Thank you so much. You know, I got what I need. And some of you might be still a little lost and not understanding what it is exactly you want to do or need to do to start losing that weight. And remember, this isn't about a weight loss fix. This is losing weight for life. I lost 65 pounds and I have kept it off within a 5-pound margin for over 15 years. So this is not about just losing weight. This is about losing weight and keeping it off for a lifetime through these simple practices. So right now, we're going to have Q&A at the end. I want to hear your questions. I want to hear anything you have to say about what you heard today, whatever questions that you have. But right now, I want to share with you what I do, how I have helped my clients lose weight, feel amazing, so that they can live the best of their life. So let me introduce you to the focused 90-day experience that will guide you all the way to the end of the year. We are coming into September. We are almost coming into the end of the year. We're coming into the holidays. I don't know about you. That's the 2 times a year I track, summertime and holidays, because I just want to eat all the cookies. So it's rough. It's rough going through the holidays on your own. This is designed for women who want to lose weight, gain energy, and feel amazing this summer. Not this summer, this holiday season. Structured coaching, macro structure, and momentum without starting over. Is anyone familiar with the term WIFM? That's what's in it for me. Because whenever someone's telling me about something, I'm like, what's in it for me? And I'll tell you what's in it for you. So in my program, I'm doing a 90-day reset program. And this is to help you get control of your weight, of your timeline, of your energy every single day. This is the tip of the iceberg of what I share with my clients. And so in this 90-day reset, you get a private kickoff strategy call with Coach Mo. That's me. So you get to set yourself up for success. Your success is my success. If you're not succeeding, I'm not succeeding. So I have a vested interest in your success. You receive a customized nutrition plan just for you. This is just for you. This is all about you. You're not Margie K. You're you. You're wonderfully and uniquely made. And so this is created just for you so that you will know exactly what your body needs to be successful, to be energized, to lose weight, to feel, even to think clearly. And in the program, we use the Pro Coach app, and I review and give feedback 3 times a week. So in this, you have your to-dos. On the left, you have your to-dos, what you want to achieve. So I have eat more vegetables and do a mind body scan, which I started the day with today. And then you have a food journal where you can send me pictures of your food. and you're tracking. And then there's messages. We message back and forth through the Pro Coach app. And it's a really, really powerful tool. I just did another update on a tutorial for the Pro Coach because I want my clients to be successful using apps, like one more app, but it's the most important app because it's what's going to help you be successful. Private monthly call with Mo. So we meet once a month, one on one, and we focus on what you're working on, how things are going, what's going well, what are you celebrating, and then what do you need help with? Obviously, that's why I'm here. I'm here to coach you through those rough spots so that you can have smooth sailing for the rest of your life. We have weekly group coaching calls, coaching and training. So every week we get together and we focus on different elements of your program. And I teach something at the top of the call so that you're getting that continued um, support. And I make it really simple. This is all about being simple, y'all. And if anyone's simple, it's me. I love keeping things simple. And that's the name of my podcast that I'm working on. So keeping it real simple. That's what we want to do is when I want to keep it real simple. So I give you simple trainings every time we meet for group coaching. Every month we have a masterclass and it's things that everybody in the group is talking about. So a few months ago, we were talking about what's the difference between glycemic load and glycemic index because it matters how your sugar is hitting your body. That was one of the more popular ones. That's why I chose to showcase it here because it really answered a lot of questions about how you're eating, what you're eating, and why you're successful and why maybe you're not. So, and then ongoing email and text support every week, every day. You have access to me through email or text messaging. And some people take a great advantage of that and some people don't, but it's up to you, whatever your level of support is. But just know that I'm always there. And this is what I get really, this is something I added in recently. It's a customized meal map. So together we fill out this based on your nutrition plan. And this gives you an overview. It's a map, not a meal plan. Meal plans often lead to disaster because then that means they make you dependent. And I want to make you independent. I want you to spread your wings and fly. At the end of this program, I want you to feel confident, but this is going to help you map out what you eat every day for optimal success. This is a huge asset that I'm super happy that I added to it. And it's so fun. And my clients have had great responses to this. So before I get into it, if you want to join the reset, there are some bonuses. So as an additional private session during the 3 month period, which you can use anytime, before, after, in the middle, whenever you want. I have a pick one. So you can have a personally guided pantry makeover. I've done this before and it's so powerful. At the end of it, you can see everything you have. You can see there's a lot of tossing, y'all, and we get rid of things that aren't serving your well-being and you have a clear path. You see exactly what you have, you know what you have, and that goes into meal planning. Or you can personally guide a time smart meal planning guide. So that goes into the meal planning, like how we plan every week, how you can batch cook, how you can plan ahead. And y'all, if you're not using the post-it note tape to identify the time and date and whatever's in the container, I highly recommend it. So fewer mystery meals now. Like, what was this and how old is it? So a personally guide. So you're in the kitchen with Mo. So I am helping you how to plan and knock that out. No more suffering when it comes to meal planning. Or we can do a fast track focus session on your calendar makeover to prioritize your time for you. This is a really big one and something I love doing because so many times I have found time in someone's calendar when they said, I don't have any time. Has anyone ever said, I don't have any time? Raise your hand. If you said, I don't have time. Yeah, I know. I feel like a wizard. I feel like a fairy godmother who gives you time. And it's so exciting because we don't know what we don't know. And that's why we have coaches. So this is everything. This is the total value for everything I would charge individually. That would be, this is over a 3 month span. So the private kickoff call, everything. So the group coaching is a huge value, and the email support, everything, the pay in full bonuses. This all together is over $6,000. If you were to go and have these services provided individually, that would be over 6 grand. But you have to ask yourself, what is your health worth, first of all? And second of all, how much money have I already spent on things that didn't work? Like I said, the diet train, it stops here. So you get all of this. This 3 month race set, I'm so excited about, because no, it's not 6,400. That's coconuts. We got things to do. It's not half of that. It's not 32,285. I had to math. It's 1497. This is 90 days. This is a no-brainer. You will have control of your life. You're going to have calm. You're going to have clarity. You're going to lose weight. You're going to feel so in control of your life, maybe for the first time in a long time. I've had so many clients come to me and say, oh my God, I feel like me again, because we lose ourselves in the process. We want to care for everybody else. And when we start caring with ourselves, when we start treating ourselves like the most precious loved one that we are, that changes everything. Because when you start loving yourself, it makes taking care of yourself, losing weight, feeling amazing so much easier. And that's a big part of what I do. All this other stuff is super fun. It's super fun. You get to invest in yourself. You get to invest time in you, you beautiful, wonderfully made person. I don't know if anyone's ever heard me speak on Facebook Lives, but I talk about that a lot. You are beautifully and wonderfully made. And this is all about honoring that beautiful person, that beautiful individual on this planet. And I have 100% satisfaction guaranteed. You're showing up, you're doing the work, you're doing the practices, then it's a 2 week money back guarantee. And we'll talk and we'll say this isn't working for me. Then God bless. But I guarantee it. And I've yet for anyone to come back and tell me that they need this. But I like to have it in place because some people need assurances for sure. So thank you for this. I'm going to put my link for a discovery call to reach out to me. I think this is really important. This is something that nothing else will ever touch. No other material thing. You don't have your health. You haven't got anything. That's Count Rogan from The Princess Bride, if anyone is familiar. All right. So that was my barcode. So does anyone have any questions? I can lower my hand now. Does anyone? I saw that. Let me see what was in the chat. Yes, the program is 90 days. So it's 3 months. And so that takes us right into through to the holidays. And so right before the Christmas gets chaotic. So you go into the Christmas holidays or whatever you celebrate, even Hanukkah, that's often in December, whatever you celebrate, it's going to take us through those. I call them the big three: Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas. So getting through being planted in something that's solid before those chaotic times of the year. I don't know about y'all. I come from a big family and it's a little coconuts. It's going to take you all the way through to the beginning of the year. And okay, I love this. I love what I'm seeing here. Water before coffee, walking. So do you recommend exercising before eating? That is a great question, Bridget. There is Dr. Stacy Sims is a doctor I recently started following, and she's very much female-oriented, menopause-oriented doctor, and she was talking about the benefits of eating protein, a protein carb combination within 30 minutes of waking up. And people are like, what? It's not a full breakfast. It's about 15 grams of protein and a carbohydrate to go with it. I actually put together a resource that shows my clients what they need when they get up in the morning. So I'll get up and I'll have um, like a Greek yogurt and some berries or a banana or something before I go work out. So if you eat before you work out, because I work out so early, if you eat something before you work out, you want something that's a quick burn. You want to have that. Because the reason why we want to start with protein and carbohydrates so early in the morning is because it kickstarts our metabolism. Who's down with a faster metabolism? I sure am. So we want to start. So depending on when you exercise, and so if you're exercising later in the day, You always want to have something that's going to burn quickly. So an apple and peanut butter, or something that's not, it's not going to make you heavy. For a long time, y'all, I used to have a full bowl of oatmeal before I went and worked out. I don't know why I was dragging my heels, but we don't know what we don't know. So that's one of the reasons I became a nutrition coach. So it would be my life, and I would know all these things, and I could answer questions. So that's a really great question. Are you exercising now, Bridget?
I do it in spurts. Sometimes I'm really consistent, then other times it might be a month before I do anything. So consistency has been my challenge. But when I do start and I get into the energy of it, I do continue. But as soon as I stop, then I'm like, oh, everything goes downhill. And it's like months later, and I have a hard time getting back on track.
So what would it look like if you just put that in your calendar as a non-negotiable?
Yeah. I do have it in there. Sometimes I I think I need to change the time because
Yeah.
just to like maybe 30 minutes earlier.
Yeah.
Because I do have it in there, but then sometimes I'm sleeping up until that moment. I'm like, oh, I don't want to get up. So I think if I
Yeah.
change the time, that might be helpful.
Yes. And that's where that non-negotiable mindset comes in. Like, nope, I'm getting up. And then attaching that understand and having that understanding of why we're working out. That's huge.
Yeah.
Like making it matter. And I will think of my mom, she used to work out consistently into her late 70s. And then, she got Alzheimer's. So that's really the only thing that stopped her from continuing to work out. She walked every day, she did the things, but y'all, she ate low fat since the 80s. Low fat equals chemical storm, so eat your fats. You need them for your brain. But yeah, but she was so consistent, and the brain thing was not great, but having that consistency in your calendar, she's still healthy physically, and so having that is it's going to make you so much stronger. But it's not about perfection. Sometimes we're going to fall off. Sometimes we're going to we're going to have highs and lows for sure. So what would that look like, Bridget, having that in your calendar? How would that feel?
Yeah, it would feel great. And I do like that you mentioned eating something 30 minutes after you wake up, because right now when I do exercise, I don't eat anything. And then I'm not really hungry for a couple of hours. So I find myself eating later. And then my
Yeah.
energy is low, and it's a whole cycle. So I like that eating a little something, a protein and a carb 30 minutes after waking up. I think that's a good point, good tip.
No, that's great. That's great. I know. That'd be great. And it will kickstart you. Thank you so much, Bridget. Thanks for coming up. That will kickstart your day for sure. And anyone else? Lori, any questions?
No, it's a great program for sure. And I mean, I don't drink coffee, so the first thing I have in the morning is water.
That's all. That's great. That's great. So do you eat within 30 minutes of waking up? I know you're in the fitness industry, right?
No, I'm in the mindset industry actually.
Well, that is fitness in a sense.
That's true. Yes, mindful
Mental
fitness.
fitness.
And yeah, no, I have a protein shake with avocado and frozen blueberries in it. Generally within it's almost right away, but it's generally within 30 minutes. Sometimes it's almost an hour, but most days it's 30.
That's great. Are you exercising regularly?
No.
Well, that's okay. That's okay. And any plans to exercise regularly?
Yeah, I'm actually in a cycle. I'm raising money for kids cancer, so I'm on a cycle challenge right now to do 50 kilometers in the month of August. I've done 10, so I'll be getting on the bike trying to do 5 kilometers a day for the rest of the month. So I get my
What if you
50 in.
put it in your calendar so you don't, kill yourself trying to get all those times in, but is there a time in your calendar you could make space for that?
Yeah, for sure. Because I have already have my breakfast, lunch, and dinner all in my calendar.
Perfect.
Because otherwise, being in the industry I'm in, you get wrapped up in something, and then all of a sudden it's 8 o'clock.
Oh,
So I have a
absolutely.
reminder that goes a half an hour before. Okay, so it's like wrap it up and go get something to eat.
Yes, y'all just heard my alarm go off. I have alarms set all day, every day. Because I'll just keep working. I'll just keep going through. And this is and for all the little ADHD kids out there, I'm the poster child for ADHD. This is everything. I would get nothing done if I didn't have this, if I didn't have my processes in place.
Well,
Processes,
I
I
think
just had this
putting exercise in my calendar, even if it's just
yes.
30 minutes.
Yes,
would-
I love it. Oh, well, that's just it. It doesn't have like people think, oh, I can't get to the gym for an hour. It could be 30 minutes, it could be 20 minutes. It all counts, y'all. It all counts. I was reading the thank you, Lori. I appreciate that. Okay, I want you to commit to putting your exercise in your calendar and making it a non-negotiable.
I'll include it in my lunchtime.
Nice. Awesome. I love it. That's so great. We once joked in the group that it should really be called the all or nothing thinking group because we so get stuck in that cycle of, oh, I can't work out because I only have 20 minutes. You got 20 minutes? Let's do it. So it's a mental shift, but it's probably the biggest obstacle that we've had, that we've overcome in the group, because now it's like, oh no, okay, I got 15 minutes. I can do it. It's great. And to see people make that transition is so powerful. What can you do if you have meds and can't eat for the first 30 minutes of the day? So lemon water it will also stimulate your metabolism. So simple things like that. Yeah, medication does. So lemon water is something that you can do, and then eat as soon as you can. So as soon as you can. It's not a deal breaker, it's preferred. So eat as soon as you can. So if you can't eat for 30 minutes, wait 30 minutes and then get your little morning, we call it the pre-breakfast, my sister and I. Get your pre-breakfast in. And I mean, like, sometimes it's just my breakfast. On Saturday, I wake up, I just make breakfast, but I'll have like a little bit of protein in some form before that happens while I'm making breakfast. Karen, I have that. I have it by my bed and take it 30 minutes before I get up. Oh, that's good. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's a great idea. Great idea, Kim. Awesome. You're not just a pretty face. That's great. Going for a walk. That's great. How long the pushes? All right. So if anyone has any questions, please reach out to me. I would love to have you in this reset. It's 3 months. You're locked in. I've got you. I am, like I said, your success is my success. I know this works. So you can either decide to keep struggling and not get results or fly by night results, or you can talk to me and I'll get you on a program that's actually going to work once and for all. Yes, Bridget.
One last quick question. So as far as the exercising, you mentioned at the beginning of the call that you had like 2 exercise classes, one in the morning, one in the evening. Is that part of this program or is that something separate?
That's something separate, but I did recently have, because my boot camp is also online and he also has a workout library. So I actually have my client who just joined, she's actually done both. She's joined my program and she's joined Dark Wolf Fitness because she knows you get results. Like I love, but she's working with me to build muscle mass. So we're working on her nutrition to get her to her goals. She's in her 60s. So it's important to her to start feeling stronger. So I mean, that's all I do is boot camp. And you can see I have good results. So it's kind of a hybrid. I have talked to him about making it like, you know, mutually beneficial. So maybe we'll have to have that conversation, Bridget, because his program is solid. And that's why I work out with him. And I would love to partner with him and make it part of my program for sure. So you might have started something.
Yeah, thanks.
That'd be great. Awesome. And I find going to a community like a boot camp, because they will call me out. Where were you on Monday night? I'm going to hear it on Wednesday. Like, I couldn't make it. It's like, I was working, but you never want that to be an excuse for getting in the way of your health, right? So that's why you always have to back up plan. But being in a community where people will miss you, I mean, John will text people. I will if I'm not there, he'll be like, "Where are you? Did you die? Like, what's going on?" So it's having people having that accountability in a community. That's why the group coaching is so great, because if you're not there, during the group calls, I'll be calling you. It's like, hey, or usually I'll get a call in testimonial. You know, if they can't make it live, they'll send me, this is what happened this week. This is what I'm struggling with. This is going well. And then I'll give feedback on the call. And then I put the recording into the group. So into the group, Facebook group. So then everyone gets seen and heard, and I can still coach them even when they can't be live on the call, which is really helpful. So having that accountability is because I'm messaging everyone before the call saying, hey, it's our weekly coaching call. Are you going to be there? So that way, and then people say, dang it, I gotta be at my son's school. So here's my here's my share. And so then I can still coach them even though they're not there. And then I post it that afternoon, and then they can watch through and get the feedback, like, fast, which is awesome because coaching is my favorite thing to do. I don't know if you've noticed that. It's my life. Anything else, Bridget? You good? Awesome. Thank you so much. I love when people are brave and come up onto the stage and ask questions. What about 2 to 15 minute exercise breaks instead of, yeah, totally. Totally. It's just, and then recently, thanks for that question, Bridget. I was reading, I was watching, I follow this little guy on Instagram, and he deals with a lot of older people. And he's saying, doing those lateral steps, you do the square, you do lateral and back and across and up and lateral. So just sitting at the, now at the sink, I will tap back and forth. I'll do 2 steps over, 2 steps back, just to get those lateral movements. These are the things, it helps with your stability. It helps with, your confidence, as you're getting older. It's like, hey, it's like, yeah, I almost slapped my doctor when she said, as the woman ages. Yeah, I know. But it's true. Unfortunately, it's true. But yeah, so that definitely 15 minutes, definitely. Just make sure you're taking time to recover. Okay, I'm gonna stop that now. Taking time to recover, give a little recovery in, if not too strenuous. But those things, they all add up. That's what I'm saying. Those habit stacks, those micro habits, they all add up. Do I want you to do an intense workout twice a week, twice a week? Yes, definitely, especially as you're building up. But it definitely, um, okay, thanks, Lori. It all counts. It all counts. Again, it comes back to that all or nothing thinking. Like, well, it's just 15 minutes. Like, no. I had a client. Her son gets up in the morning and watches Paw Patrol. So she gets on the bike while he's watching Paw Patrol. And it's like, she's like, why didn't I think of that before? I was like, well, that's why you have me. So yes. All right. Any more questions? I'm looking at, oops, I just closed my chat. One in the chat. That's great. Thanks, Lori. That'd be awesome. Yes. Same to you, Karen. Karen, you're featured. All right. Well, that's it. Thank you so much. I hope to hear from some of you. Like I said, you will make a change in your life if you take what you learned here today, for sure. But if you need a little extra help, please reach out to me. It's time with Coach Mo com. Get on my schedule, and I'd love to help you navigate. Maybe it's working with me. Maybe it's working with someone else. Maybe it's getting you into an exercise. I'm the Santa Claus of coaches. If I don't have what you need, let's find who does have what you need. Maybe it'll be, like I said, maybe for Bridget, it'll be a workout, getting in consistent workouts. Maybe, Lori, we'll talk about your calendar. Kim, talking about coming up and seeing your parents. Whatever it is, reach out to me. I know things, and I want to help you. I want to help you get healthier. I cannot emphasize this enough. Irene, you know where I am. Yes, I'd love to hear from each and every one of you, just to spend 20 minutes diving in where you are and get you where you want to be. Sound good? Thumbs up. Awesome. All right, guys, have an amazing day. Thank you for being an amazing crowd. Take care. God bless, as I always say. Love you. That is a command, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.